Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Wellington, please.
Hello. I like audience participation, it's great.
Right, you know what's going to happen now, don't you? I'm going to...
You're going to ask me some questions?
No, I was going to drop my pages, but no. Tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself. Tell us in particular about your Irish background.
Alright, I will. My name is Jess and I live here in Wellington. I moved here with my family about 15 years ago now, would be about right. And my grandmother's family are from County Tipperary, but they moved over to the UK, and from the UK we moved over to New Zealand.
And there was some local history involved here. You're also a Hutt Valley girl, more or less, sort of?
Oh, I am. Well, yeah, more or less. We moved over to Kendala first of all, and then my family moved to Upper Hutt, and I went to secondary school at Chiltern St James, which is a school just down the road on Waterloo Road. And I moved out to Wellington. My lovely mother, who's in the audience tonight, teaches at Chiltern.
Teachers at Chiltern. Oh, another teacher.
She does, in the primary school, the wee little girls.
How many teachers do we have in the room? Oh, poor things.
So now 2 teachers in the room.
Oh, no, there's a third one hiding down the back, but we'll just move on. You poor thing. I used to be. And then I saw the light and got out. Anyway, I see from your profile that you're co-director of a music business, and you also said that you were a curriculum manager. I believe that's coming to an end now. Am I right in assuming that one was the dream and the other was how you pay the rent?
Yes, you're absolutely right in saying that.
So the co-director of the music company was paying the rent?
I wish it was paying the rent, but unfortunately it's not paying the rent at the moment, but I'm forever hopeful that it is going to one day pay the rent.
So what does this company that you're co-director of do? What is it?
So Tralee Music Limited is really a means for us to be able to perform. So it's a group of 3 people, 3 classical trained singers, myself included, and we formed this pop opera trio. So I don't know if anyone knows what pop opera is, but it's a crossover genre. So it's a crossover between popular music or pop music and classical music. So for people that have heard of Hayley Westerra, a New Zealand pop opera star, we do something very similar, but there's 3 of us singing, so we tend to do it in harmony.
Right, okay. That's very helpful.
I'm willing to answer any questions about this because I love it and want to talk about it all day. So please ask me questions about it.
Right, moving on. I'm in charge here, remember that, please. Clearly you're a singer.
Yes.
What always intrigues me when I meet someone, a painter, a musician, a singer, is at what point in your life did you know that singing was where your future lay? Can you remember? Was there a shining light moment?
Yes.
Mum said yes.
Mum said there was a shining light moment.
Would you answer it?
I've answered, but so can Jess.
Can to be honest, I can't remember one particular moment. I mean, I've been performing ever since I was a very little girl, and both my father's family and my mother's family are reasonably musical. My grandma was a nightclub singer, and my granddad is a piano player. So I think it was inevitable from quite a young age that I was going to do something. I did attempt dancing, and while I still like to do that, it's not something people would probably want to see me doing on stage. So instead, I'm singing.
Lovely, okay. And so singing's always been part of your life as far as you're concerned?
Absolutely. Well, as far as I'm concerned, singing has always been a part of my life, yeah.
Okay. The other thing, having read the profiles, having read your entry form, I look for things that I don't know anything about, that baffle me. And the one that I came across in yours, the first thing that baffled me when I was reading your entry form, was you said that you love your pole fitness classes. And I couldn't understand what the Polish people have to do with fitness. What are these pole fitness classes?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but they're not actually anything to do with Polish people. They're actually to do with vertical static poles. Most people associate them with something that it absolutely isn't. Pole fitness is really about body strengthening. The reason I first got into it was because as a singer you want to have a really solid core strength, so this bit down here. And pole fitness is incredibly good for that, and I I did some study about what would be great for me to do, some sort of form of fitness that was going to be fun, had to involve music, obviously. And through my research, I found that there's a number of opera companies that make their performers do pole dance. And I thought, okay, this seems kind of intriguing. I might as well go along and do it. And I loved it so much, I ended up teaching it. So maybe I'm the fourth teacher in the room.
Right, okay. And the other thing that struck me, the other thing that stands out in your entry form, in your profile, is that family is important to you. Mum and Dad are here. You have plans for your own family in future?
Oh, absolutely.
Large number of kids?
I'm going to go for maybe 3. Historically in my family, everybody has 2 children. In both my dad's side of the family and my mum's side of the family, I've got 1 brother, mum has 1 sister, dad has one brother. So I think historically I should probably go with 2. But I rather like children, so I might get a 3rd in.
Spoilt my line. I was thinking about 2-storied house and poles to get down 5 poles. That went over like a lead balloon, didn't it? Okay, so last question, the final question for you, Jess. Imagine that you met a leprechaun, someone even shorter than I am, who could grant you 3 wishes. 3 wishes. What would you wish for?
Well, I'd probably have to start with perhaps winning the title of Rose of Tralee 2012. That would be quite a good wish, I would have thought. I'd wish for a good rebuild for Christchurch, for Trisha. I think that that's very important and important for the rest of New Zealand. And a 3rd thing. On a more personal, someone said drinks, I would not wish for drinks. That must be my flatmate over in the corner. On a more personal level, I would wish that all of my family could come and visit New Zealand. We've been here, like I said, for 15 years, and we've only had a few members of the family come out as it's a particularly long and expensive trip. So I would wish for at least one day where all of my family could get together for some food, again, Irish, for some food.
That's lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Wellington studio, Are you ready? Have you practiced your answers for the quick fire? You haven't?
No.
Oh, I'd be sitting there going through. So what does it say?
But you don't get so quick there. I've forgotten what the last question was.
Excellent. That's the whole point. Okay, you ready? Should we start?
Yeah.
Okay. Dan Carter or Thomas Abercrombie?
Yeah.
Thomas is a basketball, all right? It's important. Okay. Goodness me.
Dan is on jockey adverts.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Okay. The Cause or the Cranberries?
The Cause.
Riverdance or Chicago?
Riverdance, and I've got my ticket.
Okay. Hurricanes or the Crusaders?
Hurricane.
Oh, yeah, so, okay. Marmite or Vegemite?
Vegemite.
Colin Farrell or Robson Green?
Colin Farrell.
Holden or Ford?
Ford.
But you're not sure. Okay. Fish and chips or Chinese takeaway?
Definitely fish and chips.
Baileys or Chardonnay?
Baileys.
U2 or the Rolling Stones?
Kind of depends what mood I'm in. If you're in a want to
I'm not
drive
sure what's
fast
good, are
mood, probably Rolling Stones, but any other sort of mood, U2.
Okay. For an overseas holiday, Rarotonga or Bali?
Well, I've never been to either, but Bali.
Bali, okay. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Sinead O'Connor or Adele?
Oh, this is another tricky one. It depends what mood you're in. I mean, I really like Sinead O'Connor, but if I want to have a good wallow, I'll probably listen to Adele.
Wallow. Right, okay. I'm baffled. Coronation Street or Shortland Street?
Neither, but Shortland Street if I had to pick.
Right, okay. And you do. Guinness or Steinlager?
Guinness.
And who's going to win the rugby series in June, the All Blacks or Ireland?
In